Felix told me backstage, I said, I invited you so many times. Today you come. He said, well, at some point, everyone is saying yes. But Dreamlines is one of those travel vertical champions. Oh, there you are. It was like, and, you know, the cruise ship market is big, but it's probably not one of the verticals we would immediately relate to as an online vertical. Interestingly, the platforms, I don't think they're hugely in your market, huh? So you have a relatively easy run. Very excited to have you from my hometown. Felix, stage is yours. Thank you.
Very good. Hello, hello. To be honest, I think we are supposed to have a chat.
Oh my God.
But
No, chat.
I'm happy to improvise. So, hi everyone.
No, I'm very chatty. So let's talk. So who has been on a cruise ship? Like
Not many.
17% penetration, but they probably don't remember some of them.
Oh, it has to do with our average age per customer.
So in Germany we have, 80 million people. How many go on a cruise ship?
Roughly 2 million. Yeah.
Okay, so it's quite a bit. And what's the average age? Like 65, or is that a prejudice? Or
that's where we are coming from. Yeah. So 10 years ago it was a little bit north of 60. But it's also one of the good developments in our markets that is now, it came down to 55. What it is now is basically the global market looks a little bit different from country to country. But in our company, for an example, it's even below. So we are actually very close to 40 now, so 51 as an average. And yeah, that's also the trend where it goes to. More families, more millennials.
And Tinder alternative.
Yeah, I think I cannot...
Especially in the American market, I understand that they have cruise operators targeted to younger demographics, and they have a bit of there's some market segmentation happening. Huh? But the market is growing as a whole quite nicely, I understand, right?
Very nicely, yeah. So we have an annual growth of 3 to 4%, which is very strong. And the future looks even better. Yeah, so a lot of capacity coming in the markets, very healthy cruise lines and suppliers. So we are confident we can fill all of the ships, and then we are talking about 7 to 8% annual growth for the next 5 years.
Wow. So the European cruise market, in terms of end market value, do you have a number for us? How big is it roughly?
So Europe is a little bit hard to distinguish. Globally, we talk about 60 billion US dollars.
60 billion, wow.
Yeah, and 50% of that happens in the US, and then roughly 35% in Europe, and the rest is Australia, Asia, and a very fast rising upcoming China.
And what is like the conventional way to book your cruise? Are you going to the cruise operator's website? Are you going to your travel agent? Are you going to portal? And of course,
you go to Dreamlines, first of all, yeah. No, cruises are a complex product. With most cruise bookings comes the need for transportation, accommodation, and so on. So more than 85% of the cruise customers are not departing from the country of origin or within there. That means they need a flight, a hotel, and so on. It's also one of the USPs of Dreamlines as a full-service agency, that we really take care of the whole cruise journey.
That's why it's a complex product and not
Exactly.
so easily to integrate in a big platform.
Absolutely, that's
And the platforms are also not integrated. I had a long chat with the CEO of Booking.com, Glenn Vogel, who has come often to NOAH, and I asked him, how comes I have to go to 6 different websites of yours if I book a trip? So if they can't even integrate their own, probably hard to see that they will bring even new services into the platform. So Dreamlines is a very, very successful German startup story. I don't know, can you share how much money you raised? Is it
it's publicly available. Yeah, so until today we raised roughly 106 million euros.
A lot of 100 plus raised companies on stage. Do you have something like a peer in the US or in the Asian market?
Not really a peer. So in our case, we can really say that we are the only true global player with the only real global approach there. We do have local competitors, of course, and some heavyweights in the US. Like many other US businesses, they are focusing on the US market. It makes a lot of sense here because it's 50% of the 60 billion, so it's a lot to target. But nobody really manages, and we are also not done, but nobody really manages to deal with the complexity then on a global scale with the languages, with the different suppliers and so on.
How much of the cruise products are bookable through dreams line in the world?
Basically everything. So we have
wow.
every cruise line is connected and is
That
partner
must
of
be a
Dreamlines.
huge competitive advantage to
it
an
is.
offliner or any other company.
Yeah, it is. So we have over 100 cruise line connected, and at one point, so when it comes to very luxury sail liners and boats and so on, we basically at the moment stop. But above that, everything is part of the Dreamlines portfolio.
I have a funny story to share. My grandfather loved cruises, so they went every year on a cruise, and they combined it with safari. So they arrived in, I think, in Brunei or somewhere in Asia, and they had like 8 hours to kill in the city. So they went to two teenagers with a moped, and they said, "Bring us to the orangutans." So they were going on the mopeds, and he was already, I think, 75, and they almost missed the boat on the way back. How many of your passengers are missing the boat when they have some fun in the cities?
No, not a lot, but actually that's a funny coincidence to one of the adaptations of our business, because so we developed our own travel insurance, and we did this based on a survey, understanding our customers a bit and so on. And guess what? What you just mentioned is the #1 fear of especially the older people. So our travel insurance covers now when you miss the boat, and you will be basically, a helicopter takes you then for a range of 500 kilometers to the next stop of the ship.
Sounds like fun missing the boat, no?
Yeah, I have to make sure that's not happening on purpose.
So what's your future? You're a category leader. It seems like inventory-wise, you're covering the whole world. You understood the product. You're adding auxiliary services like insurances. Would you need more capital? We have many investors here.
Yeah, I mean, depends a bit forward, but we've done very successful acquisitions, luckily two in the past, so that's a good reason to raise capital in the future as well. We have very good investors already in the company. It's always good to add to the table when there is also maybe strategic value, so yes. In terms of future plans, we are now in every relevant cruise market in the world, 10 countries, luckily not so many for us. And we want to keep on growing and expanding, and also in terms of volume become the global market leader.
And is your inventory searchable and bookable on any of the big platforms yet?
Not
that
yet.
make sense to get the distribution with them, or is it sleeping with the enemy?
It's a bit of both, yeah. So not yet, and it's on purpose that it's not yet, but it is an interesting opportunity for us, because as you said rightfully or correctly, we have to offer this for making it really feasible in terms of the business funnel for the big OTAs. So luckily they cannot really sell it. So at one point in time it will probably come.
What kind of marketing you do? We had quite a few people on stage today who, actually surprisingly, still believe that TV is still working very well. Are you on television?
We were, and we probably will be. It's not our main channel, but so it's a very emotional product with a very long information part or inspirational part before you finally book. So you can imagine that makes sense in terms of marketing as well. On the other hand, we are still talking about 1.5% of the German population doing a cruise there. So it's a very tiny target group. It's always hard for TV there. And then we have the whole basket. We spend a lot, from my view, always too much on Google, but that's how it is. It's a good channel for us as well, and a lot of customer base.
Are you profitable yet? Is that something you can or want to share with us?
Not yet, but very, very close. And when we would look on the month, then actually we could say yes.
It's probably not your key objective, huh? What is your key objective? Where do you want to take the company?
So a few options. So first of all, we want to keep on building really a great company, and then we talk about reasonable growth, meaning with good and improved unit economics, which we were doing very successfully in the last years. And on the other hand, again, becoming the market leader, a world market leader, comes with several perks, negotiation power, and so on. So the volume leader is an important part for us, organic and inorganic path, both together. And then, who knows? Yeah, maybe an IPO, maybe a trade sale. Maybe we are so big that we are going to acquire.
It's a good problem to have, no?
Yeah.
Too many choices. And let's talk about the cruise operators. How many are there in the world? I mean, is it like the 80-20 rule that some make up the entire market, or most of the market?
I mean, this is what you could get when you look at the US market, which is very concentrated around a few big holdings, but luckily for us around the globe, it's much more diverse. But you have an aggregation there. Due to our positioning with a high-touch consultation model, luckily we are much more diversified in our portfolio, so we do much more GMV in our long tail, what you would call the 20% there. But when you look at the total split, it's
so the bookability of rare routes is absolutely key for your package.
Yeah, and the unique cruise lines, more exploration, and so on and so on.
And ferry tickets, isn't that a logical kind of?
Not really, because
really.
So we have.
But that's a really complex market. I mean, there are so many ferry routes you don't know about, which could
also
help you.
Tiny margins.
Tiny margins. Huh?
Yeah.
It's more like a subway or so. Well, Felix, I'm so happy you are here. Amazing story. Have a great conference, and I hope to see you in Hamburg.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you soon. Thank you.
Appreciate it.